There's several specific mistakes when it comes to doing a job interview. And this is in addition to general advices such as be confident and speak with authority. So what are these? Mistake number one, and it's a very common one, is that you do not answer the question. Your job talk will be followed by questions and answers. And also during the interview itself, there will be answers directed at you. And it's a very common mistake that the candidate does not specifically answer the question. So when somebody asks you a question, you have to make an effort to address that particular question. If you don't do that, that's going to be noted by your interviewees. Mistake number two, and it's directly related to the previous one, is that you choose a bad topic for your presentation. When asked to present on your research or to give a job talk, they usually tell you specifically what they're interested in. Should it be a talk about your current research project, a general introduction to your research, or maybe a general introduction to the field? But they're going to tell you what to do. And you have to comply with that because this is what they're expecting. Quite often, candidates choose the wrong topic and it comes off as a bad fit for the situation. So don't do that. Pay attention to what's required of you, and if you're not sure, ask. Nobody's going to think you're unprofessional because you've asked about it. In fact, it's a perfectly legitimate question. Many people do ask. Problem number three is coming ill-prepared. And again, it's more common than you may think. Candidates already have their life, they're working or studying within an institution, and so they have a lot of things on their plate, so they're incredibly busy. But if you're shortlisted for a job talk and you're asked to come in for an interview, you have to take the time to familiarize yourself with your own application data, because you may have prepared this a year ago for another application, but you have to remember what you wrote in that. So make sure that you review everything again and look through your CV in excruciating detail, so you remember what you wrote about yourself. Problem number four is that you don't know enough about the department that's trying to hire you. And this is related to the previous problem of not being prepared enough. But this time you haven't done your homework about who's sitting on the other side of the table. You don't know enough about them. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're expecting of you. And so sometimes this might not be a real problem, but often it results in misunderstandings or even conflicts of interest. So make sure you take the time and familiarize yourself with the structure of their curriculum and who's teaching there. Who would be your colleagues if you were successful in this application? Problem number five is that you're a bad fit for the position. It's when you apply for a job posting that is only marginally related to what you do. And so you're essentially not a good fit. And this is at the core of any application. The selection committee is going to decide whether you're a good fit or not. And if you're not a good fit, it probably is going to come out during the interview. And so you would be disadvantaged severely. Problem number six is rambling. So as I said before, when they ask you a question, you should answer that directly and focusing on what they are asking. But it's also important not just to go on and ramble about the topic. Some candidates do not just answer the question, but just keep talking and talking, perhaps to demonstrate their knowledge. But in an interview setting, when each member of a selection committee has 1 or 2 minutes to ask you a question, your tendency to ramble is going to be disruptive, so don't do that. Mistake number 7 is that you don't ask a question at the end of the interview when they're giving you the chance to do that. You should always ask the question and think about this before. Make sure the question is relevant, it's interesting. Don't ask questions like, well, yeah, I have a question. Do you like working here? Or how did you get in here? No, ask something about the curriculum. Ask something about the department that you cannot find on the website. Don't ask something that's on the website. It's important to show that you've done your homework and looked through the available material. And the good news is that you don't have to come up with the question on the spot. You can think about it beforehand, even consult with your advisor, but do ask a question. Otherwise, it seems that you're just not interested in the department. And that brings us to point number 8, is when the candidate is not committed enough. And that kind of involves all the previous problems, namely that you have not done your homework, you didn't read up about them, you didn't prepare your questions, you didn't think about what to present on, and all these things together. You have to be committed, wanting to work there. And in many interviews, at the end, the committee asks the candidate, If you were offered the job, would you come here to work? Well, don't hesitate, but say an emphatic yes. I want to go there and I want to teach there. Okay, so these are the 8 problems I could think of right now. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and see you next time.